I do like that hoes.
Alright guys, what's up? So, my name is Jordan. People know me as Supernatural 001. I was a GM of Talisman of Noxus. Recently closed it, so I decided that I'm gonna teach people what I know, because knowledge is power. So this is video 3 of the series. What we're gonna do is, I think, a good way for people to learn as I explain things is for me to explain something and then show them like what I explained to them. So like I was thinking about, like, if I would go through everything, explain it, and then start showing you things one by one, but then you would have to go back into the earlier in the videos and find what I'm talking about. So we're gonna go through some stuff explaining things, and then we're gonna do it by in an order of a way. So we're gonna do it by we're gonna go through it one folder at a time. So when you're looking at there's two things. So when your players, when you get your server online, you're gonna upload your client once you're ready for people to play. So like Mediafire or Mega, you'll upload the client, and so this is what they'll see. If you got a auto launcher, it'll show an auto launcher in here. I can show you what mine looked like. My server is still on, so this is what mine looks like. I haven't learned to create one myself, so I don't know how to, or I would explain it. But this is my auto launcher. This is my batch file, but pretty much the one that you use on your VM. So it should turn on. It might not, because my server's offline right now. It might show. Anyway, so yeah, so this is mine. And then you click game start and then they enter the game. But yeah, that was my launcher. So that is roughly what your users will see. They're not gonna go into anything. I mean, if your server is not encrypted, like how mine wasn't, then they can see some of the files that you put in there. For the most part, the client has to have like the main files uh, to match up with the game server file folder on the host, or they're not gonna be able to launch it. So we're gonna focus. Most of your edits will be in this local folder. We're gonna go in the game server folder for now. So okay, how about this? Let me show side by side. Yeah, my son is currently playing with a ball. So let me open the second one up and I'll show you in comparison. Okay, so right now on the left side, we're gonna go we're gonna stick in the same folder. So left side is the client, what your users will see. Right side is you. So we go into the local of each. This is what they see. This is what you see. Most of the 99% of the melee underscore GB is exactly what's in Mars. So like you see, so it has. So let me say like this. Most of your edits here in this folder will match up with what you'll have copied over to the client Mars. So what I mean is, like, you see right now there is 16 Excel documents on there except for the game special, but if you go to the Mars, there's way less. Some of the files in your Mars folder will be the same in a Melee BG, like good item drop class. They'll be in both, and you want to make sure that they're the same in each one. But so like when you're doing auto patch, or when you're making sure your client matches up, this is the main folder that you'll want to make sure, because it has all the ones that are in here. That's just how it's set up. But yeah, so if we look at the local folder, they have two folders, which are the main ones: your common and Mars, which is common and these two pretty much. And this server one, they don't see. This is in here. You can edit a couple of things. I'll explain it later, but like the servers where you do most of your scripting, PvE, PvP. If you were using the old script to do world bosses in here, if you want to get your T-Point shop online, that is in over here. T-point shop. If you want to set the EXP rate, calendar, there's all kinds of stuff in here. And most of those things are pretty important, so that's why they're not in the client. But what we're going to do is we are going to focus. Give me a second. Okay, I just had to make this the screen bigger. So we're going to focus on the local one, and we will start from, I guess, the beginning. So I'm going to try to explain as much as I can without going to ones that require editing, just so I can explain more than needed. So a lot of these in here, I haven't touched, and I've done a lot. So a lot of these you don't really have to mess with. The only ones I've ever messed with is Guild, which will open up here. Guild, so it's pretty self-explanatory. Guild is where you determine the max level a guild can be, so 10 usually. Does guild create money? So you see how the number is like 50, what is this, 50,000? So how the currency, when you're editing, it's in copper. So you see 2 zeros, we'll say that's copper. The next two are for silver and then 50 gold. So in reality, this is when you open up your items box, you see it is split into three parts: gold, silver, copper. So in reality, this is what it would look like. But you can't put commas. It doesn't take that. It has to be all like a one full number. So you'll see a lot of the edits are like this. So you see 200 whatever. This 200. This is 200 gold. Max contribute 30 gold a day. So I'll go line by line right now. I just wanted to explain that because it might look confusing. So in this file, focusing on guild. So your max level of your guild would be 10. You can change. I have mine on my server. I had it for 20 gold to make a guild. Guild member capacity. So this is there's 10 sets of numbers here, one for each level of the guild. So here you can adjust how many members their guild cap can increase when they level it. A lot of servers they keep them the same for all levels. So like for my server, I had it no matter what level your guild is, 40 was a cap. And if I wanted to increase it, I'd make a patch later and change it, obviously. And then this guild household, I believe this is for officers. So you can have up to 6 officers. So like level 1 and 2, you can have 3, 4, level 4, level 3 and 4 of your guild, you can have 4 and so on. Guild territory enabled, this is for guild dimension. You want to keep it as true. Guild this is, I believe, how many members your guild needs. Obviously, you need at least one member, which would be the leader, to make guild dimension. It's 200 gold to make it. This is your scene ID. We'll get into scenes much more later. I wish I knew this. I didn't. I was trying to figure out what the scene ID of guild dimension was when I had a bug a couple days ago. I let things to look in here, and then here, this is positioning of the guild, I guess, when you enter the guild and when you leave. I don't know. I never messed with that. I messed with these. So guild contribution money rate, this is saying 300. So you can donate 300 times. Wait, no. So you can do 30 gold. You can do up to 30 gold a day here. Money rate. I don't know. Guild bank history count. I believe it's the last 500 times somebody put gold in the bank of your guild. Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. Uh, Give me a second. And then next, I haven't touched any of these actually. What's stall look like? Okay, so a lot of scripts have this open flag. Open flag pretty much means on or off. So if you want stall to be on, if you want if you want players to be allowed to make stalls in your server, you keep the flag as 1. Min stall level 10, they can open a stall. This is like the title of the stall, so 24 characters. How many items they can throw in the stall? Because you know how sometimes they'll have a full stall and you buy something and then all of a sudden it fills up again because they added more than just like the 32 parts. That's pretty self-explanatory. What What else we got here? I haven't messed with any of these. Guild War, I think that's like the 1v1 guilds. Yeah, this is the 1v1 guilds. I haven't messed with that. I mean, a lot of these and these a lot of these in the config folder of like common, and then Melee, BG, and Mars have one, which for the most part are the same. There's a couple extra ones in the Melee BG, which will show up in the Mars on your client side. Those you edit more. So that right now I'm gonna leave this one, the common config, and then I'm gonna go to Melee BG config, because here you edit, use more that you edit. Here is where more of the ones that you'll use. So I'm just gonna open up all the ones that I've used. Yeah, just those three. So client user, there is a script here to make it so like 3D so that players can zoom out. I believe it was this. Yeah, it was camera. It was if you open up your normal client, oh, I don't actually, it's this is a normal client, so it's not even in here. So in here there's some lines of script that you would add to make so that they can zoom out all the way. Top of my head, I don't know it. You can find it on like Raid Zone forum. We went through guild. Now here, this is where you'll set up, you edit the max combine plus fail rate, how much percent they would get on the next combined try. Yeah, that's, you don't gotta, you don't ever mess with anything. Everything below this function, don't mess with. These are rumors. So this is if you combine successfully, if you combine failed, and I don't remember what this on top of my head is. But yeah, I've never messed with anything below this. I've only adjusted these. So here in items, item max spending level is 20, so that means plus 20 is the max. Fail counter enabled, that means if they fail, will they get some type of extra percent the next time they combine. So here it's set as combining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, all the way to plus 15. They'll get, oh, okay, no, I lied. So this here is the combined percent. So like if they go to combine, how much percent they have when they try to combine. So from plus 1 all the way to plus 15, they start out with a 5% chance to combine. And here, this item spending fail counter clear, and this item add fail counter, this is the extra percent they would get on the next combine. So from 1 to 15, they start out with 5%. On here, only until plus 4 is when they start getting 1% extra per combine. So this line and this line revolve mostly around combining. So how much your combine rate will be, and then how much the extra for each fail. These two lines here, don't mess with. This is like the stats, the default stats, like when you combine how your defense increases at a random rate. That's this, don't mess with that. This right here is referring to the purple glow that you get and how people get it when they're plus 10. I don't mess with that. But yeah, so here, I've only ever messed with this line and this line, and then the 20, how about the plus rate. This item fail counter max add is pretty much saying you can fail up to 100 times. Okay, and then that's that for the config side. Yeah, so those are pretty self-explanatory. I'm not gonna edit and then log in and show you, just because those are pretty self-explanatory. Those are the only files that you would edit to adjust those things that I described. Now we're gonna go to, we'll start here. So you know what? I'll open. Okay, no. So depending on, I mean, this depends on the person. I like to use Excel for these, and only like the ones that are actually a .lua where I open up in Notepad, because if you open up in Excel in Notepad, it looks very difficult. You see how it's not aligned up, but if you opened up, a normal one, the columns are lined up and it's much easier to read. For me, that's what I like. So I will open up each one. Oh, I guess I can't do multiple at once. Okay. So I'll just open up each one and then I'll explain them. Okay, so what we got here? Ask answer, I've never messed with, so don't worry about that one. What is this one? Band chat name. I've never messed with it. I've never messed with the band name. Dead punish. I've never messed with this, but I'm assuming this is referring to when you die. Okay, yeah. So when you die, when you're PK, if you die when you're PK, yellow, red, and max red. This is saying I don't know. I've never messed with it, but that's referring to when you die if you're PK'd. Okay, EXP. This one is one you'll mess with. This is where you would determine the EXP rate per level. So the only one I mess with is Nimbus. I lied. Nimbus and when you're editing, Nimbus is referring to energy. So EXP is the one I mess with. So let's say my cap is gonna be level 70. Level 70 right here. There's another file that you'll edit to actually determine what level is your cap for leveling up. But yeah, so this one, I usually just do some crazy shit like na 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 na. Oh, you don't gotta do it for that. That's gold. But I just do that for whatever my max level is, just because. So yeah, so that's pretty self. That's the only column you edit in this whole exp file is the one labeled exp. And then we're gonna go to force. So force is for your reputations. This took me a minute to learn. So this is pretty. It looks pretty. A lot of these files look crazy, but it's really easy to understand. So, and a lot of these things, they're not a lot of the files. You see how they have these crazy descriptions. Credit is what is labeled is the command for like reputation. So if you're gonna when you edit an item, the command would be add credit and then number 201 1000. We'll get into that where we're editing items, but just for learning purposes. So this 201 is referring to the repu number, which is this number right here, column A. So let's say I'm making a repu 201. These first two are just descriptions. It's not like the description of this one right here is the actual description of the reputation. So like if they go to the quest or whatever, and this first one, it doesn't matter. I usually make them matched up. The reason a lot of these look like this is because in another file that we'll get into, like message table, they have it so that this weird ass name corresponds with the actual reputation. But I just do, Deep Dick 69. All right. And then so this next one, you don't need to edit. You know how some of these have like you edit column EFG. You don't need all that. You just need column D. So this is the total reputation that they'll need. So the thing is though, you can't. Let's say you're gonna have reputation, and there's gonna be items up to level 6. This doesn't look at it like that. This looks at it as total reputation up to level 10. So if you want to add an item at level 6, you're gonna have to adjust yourself at how much EXP they'll need to get to level 6. So here if I put 50,000, that means there's 50,000 reputation total until they get to level 10. So if I want an item at level 6, I'm gonna have to adjust accordingly instead of because if I just say that's a whole nother we'll get more into explaining how that affects items. But yeah, so this is where you edit reputation. You edit the reputation number, the name, and then the amount for level 10. Yeah, we'll be done with that one. We'll go to game special after we go through the rest of these. God EXP, that's like for admin leveling up. Cause like, yeah, you don't gotta worry about God EXP. Don't worry about that. Good item drop. Now this is an important one which you will adjust a lot. This is where you edit the items that drop normally. You know, like large rubies, titanium stones, golden IDs. Oh, it's in gibberish right now. Here, let me show you mine. Let me show you mine from my server. So in my server, I got a thing with Excel. You can't open one with the same name. So in my server, motherfucker, what's this one? Reputation. I'll just use my server for to explain the rest of this video. So in my server, there is all these, good drop. People who play my server, they know they know what these items are. But if I can, so here is the ID. This ID only refers to the line in the file. So that's okay. This number, if you're gonna add another item, it'll start with line 33. This item ID here refers to the actual ID, refers to the actual number of the item. So just for you to understand what I mean, I'll open up item description. So we got 3865, 3865. So this ID must match up to the item ID and the actual item. So this column right here, this item ID matters. This name not so much. This is just for you're knowing what the item is purposes. So here, these are the rates for each different type of mob or boss. So I believe T1 is mobs outside. I believe T4 is bosses outside of caves is what I mean. This is cave mobs. This is cave bosses. This is the last boss of the cave, and then this is world bosses. I believe that's what each column means. I might have mixed these three. I know this the last column is world boss, and these two are the mobs and boss outside the cave. But I believe these three are like that as well. So these are the rates. So this is saying I have a 5% rate of dropping a large emerald. I need to be at least level 30. I can be between level 30 and level 99 to drop a large emerald at 5% rate of a mob outside a boss. Yeah. So here you edit any common drops that you want to be dropped. It doesn't matter what kind of item it is, as long as you have it in there. That's all you would need to edit so that they become a common drop or a good drop is how it describes it. All right, next one, good building, guild building. I haven't messed with this. I believe this is probably the things inside the guild. Yeah, so I've never messed with that. Don't worry about that one. Neither IP special. So item drop class. This is going to be an important one. This is one where you'll edit things like, let's say you create an item that has a chance of dropping multiple things. Like they have a chance of getting one out of 5 different things. So let's like a lotto. So like a lotto, let's say 5657. We're gonna come back to this file later on when we're going talking about NPCs. But just for now, this is where you'll make things like lotto. So let's say we'll say MDV lotto. I'm gonna make up these IDs real quick, but one thing though that you gotta make sure is when you're listing, and this column right here is gonna be the item ID, like how we found an item description, and then comma 0. You got to make sure you have that comma 0 in it, or that file is going to have an error. And always, 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 how these files are set up is you need to have a semicolon when you're making a list of something. So when you're listing multiple things, whether it's NPCs or items, as you can see in here, as you can see here, there's a semicolon before the next number. So let's say I'm gonna make up what these items are. Fucking, we got a fucking giant penis, a small penis, and a big penis. So So there's 3 items that they have a chance to getting from this lotto. Um, I lied. I lied. So this isn't technically what you would make for a lotto. This would be like a chest where they can you can list all the items that'll possibly drop from that chest, and then this one you can just put a one. But yeah, this would be more for like a chest, like a palace bear. They drop a chest, then you would list all the items that would most likely drop that they have a chance of dropping from the chest. Um, a lotto is a different file. Item drop color. This is referring to the color, the rarity. So how my server was is I deleted all this because nothing after golden was dropping. But here is where you would edit. They have a 20% drop on. This is the mobs outside of cave. 20% drop of dark golden. Sky blue, jade green, platinum, whatever. So here is you would adjust the rates of the rarity, and this is referring to the mobs all the way to world bosses of their chance. And then this is the level of this will be referring to the level of the MP the boss. So let's say your CWC last boss is gonna drop gold jade. What is this? Jade green. So it'd probably be you'd probably make sure you want to be editing this column here that says 60 to 99. Yeah, I've never messed. Only thing all I did was in this file before was delete all this, cause and I adjusted the rate a little bit, but because I didn't want anything after golden dropping. Um, and numbers. So numbers refer to when you hit. You know how when you attack and you see the damage. If you're a bug that I've come across and that I know people come across, is that when they attack or they get hit, they only see like half of the numbers. Like it shows only the top and bottom half. That's because their numbers file is from like a different server. It's like told these are all right here. These are all positions. So if the positions don't match up how their client screen is, then they're gonna have that issue where it's like half cut off. So all I did was found one from another server, and I tested it and it worked and it fixed that bug. But yeah, you don't edit, don't mess with this. I don't mess with war area. Well, what is this one? Okay, yeah, don't mess with war area or private config. Small pet. Now this is referring to the level of your pet. So right now it shows level 30 is the max. This next time is referring to how much time for it to level up. So this is saying from level 21 to 30, every level takes 18 minutes. This column is in minutes. What I did was I just made these match up. Or no, this is saying, yeah, I just made these match up. Don't so these two, this one and this one are the main two files. Um, but we're gonna go into game special next, and then we'll be done with this video. All right, so game special. Here you'll be editing a lot. So here is you will edit where it shows the name of your server before the name of your game before the actual server name. So like how it shows Talisman Online, and then Sky Around Water. Sky Around Water is what you would edit in the VP in your VM when you're editing those files, like adding the IPs. This will be the actual Talisman Online, the name of your game. Here is what I said before, the max level. So how we were talking about max level would be 70. Bam, 70. Auction switch and point switch. These are referring to auction house and the T point shop. A lot of servers, a lot of clients don't have their T point shop automatically on, so you got to edit and add some scripting to get it turned on. But this is saying that that they can use the auction house, they can use T points. Loading image is referring to when you load the client, if it shows like the background that you should see when your client's loading, not when you're on a login screen, but when it's actually loading. Uh, that's where you would put in here. So you could make a picture and just keep the name to this, and all you would have to do is just insert that picture into that's a whole nother video. I'll get into that. PK enable if you want PK to be allowed, true or yes. PK at person, how many PK points you get per PK kill, and then how many points you get when you're yellow, red, and then when you can't attack at all. PK protect level. I noticed this file has a lot of things. A lot of things. So this file is very important. PK protect level. What level? Uh, what level do? What level does PK? Can PK start happening? So you pretty much this is saying that you can't kill anybody under level 20. Use chat color. Use chat flash. Like when you're low HP, your screen starts flashing red. If you're able, if you give the players the option to delete character. Um, I don't mess with none of this. Don't mess with none of this. This bank password, like I never tried it, but I'm assuming this is like when you enter your warehouse, if you somehow require a password. Sign equip need level 21 to start signing your equipment. Now here, by default, most clients have this stupid ass setup where you can't send more than 5 mails per day. Change that shit to like 99,999,000 for both of these. That's fucking stupid. Can't send more than 5 mails a day. The items you cannot delete or sell, Smith. This is saying 800. So pretty much any item under 800 you can't sell. So I changed that to like 70. And you can edit specifically each item if it's deletable, and the items for file, which we'll get into later. 1 day max delete item count, leave 1,000. Item cannot delete or sell. So this is saying, this is referring to the color. These two are referring to the color, the rarity, and that's in another file, which I'll show you real quick, just so you can understand what I'm talking about. No. That's in Give me a second. Shit, I don't remember where it's at. Uh, is it game config? Oh, not that one. It's in the melee BG. It's in the motherfucker. I don't remember where it's at. Oh, it's in this one right here. Nope. It was here. This one right here. Shit. Whatever. So there's a file that shows you what the numbers mean. This is set throughout the whole game. When you're configuring an item to be a certain color, you're not gonna put the color. You're gonna put this number. So 0 refers to white, 1 blue, 2 gold, 3. Oh, I lied. So 1 white, 2 blue, 3 gold, 4 dark gold, and so on all the way to platinum. So this is saying you can't delete anything that's under white. So white would be 1, but since it's 0, you're saying that you can delete anything. Now this is saying cannot delete or sell color. Oh, I lied. This is referring to the plus. So anything anything under +0 you can't delete, which obviously is under +0. This is saying anything under 6, which I believe is platinum. So this is saying that you can't delete anything that is platinum, that is not platinum. So I usually change this to like 3, so that means they can delete anything that's golden or under. Medium Smith 6. So when motherfuckers try to make +6, when they make +6 and it gives a rumor, I hated that shit. I turn that shit 0. Enter safe world save time. What level can they start speaking in world? Trade time limit. Oh no. This is Can enchant the lead of the guild max character. How many characters can they have in the description of their guild? This is referring to auction. How much gold can they bid or whatever. I've never messed with that. So this is one thing. If you want your T-point shop to be on, you want to make sure that both of these are 1, because as I told you, 1 means on, 0 is off. That's the main things in here. I skipped a couple things because I don't tiny things, but those are the main things that I've messed with. So I'll show you. Yeah. That's gonna be this for this video. I went through just the main things in here and here in your melee BG or your Mars folder. Um, We'll go more into detail with a lot of them once we're actually editing items and stuff, but that'll be this first video of explaining things. But thanks for watching.